All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good morning our time, good evening to our colleagues joining us from Dubai. My name is Elena Corbett, and I am the Director of Education Abroad here at Amideast. And the first thing I'm going to do is remind everybody that this session is being recorded. Thank you very much for attending this second webinar in a series meant to introduce this new direct enroll collaboration between the American University in Dubai and Amideast Education Abroad. Our first webinar took place a couple of weeks ago, and it was really focused on just a broad general introduction and overview to programming in general, how to apply, what this collaboration means in practice. If you were not able to attend that webinar and you weren't registered for that webinar, if you would like the recording, please feel free to reach out to us at edabroad@amideast.org. We'll put that in the chat in a little bit, and we're happy to provide that link to you. As a reminder, our third and final webinar in this series will be held on Tuesday, May the 4th, again at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and the focus will be Middle East Studies at the American University in Dubai and the university's Clinton Scholarships. Today's webinar will highlight some specific AUD programs, notably business administration, engineering, and architecture, art, and design. We will have a short informational session, and then we will be opening the floor to questions and answers. We are honored to have with us today some very special new colleagues from the American University in Dubai. If you were at the last webinar, you have met her virtually already, but Ms. Eugen Schmidt, the Study Abroad and Exchange Coordinator, is with us. We also have Mr. Raj Kapoor, the Director of Student Recruitment for the School of Business Administration. We have with us Dr. Wael Bazi, the Dean of the School of Engineering, and Dr. M. Nabil Shanaf, Dean of the School of Architecture, Art, and Design. Thank you all colleagues for joining us. We also want to just note for everybody that it is nighttime. It is the end of their work week, so they are headed into their weekend and they are taking this time to spend with us. It is also very close to Iftar. It is the holy month of Ramadan, and so we wish all of you and yours a Ramadan Mubarak, and appreciate so much your being here with us at the end of your week, and so close to the time of breaking the fast. Without further ado, I am going to be quiet and turn my camera off and turn the floor over to my colleagues. Also with us today, if you have any questions or at any time you want to put something in the chat, I'm remiss to have not introduced her, my dear colleague, Justine Pinkerton, who is our program assistant for Amideast Education Abroad, and with whom a lot of you who have joined us today on the US side, you've been corresponding with her. I am going to stop my video and turn off my microphone for a little bit and turn the floor over to our good colleagues.
Hi everyone. So again, I'm Eugen Schmidt. I'm the Study Abroad Exchange Coordinator in AUD. So first of all, we are going to introduce Mr. Raj Kapoor. So Raj, take over, please.
Great, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for having us here. Thanks everyone for arranging this. Eugen, do you want me just to start, or did you want to say a few more? Yeah, okay, fantastic. So I have a couple of roles today. I'm going to share my screen if I may. And hopefully you should be able to see my screen. Okay, I see a nod, so that's great. Okay, thank you again for the introduction. My name is Raj, and I have the I have the honor and the privilege of being known as the American University in Dubai's Director of Student Recruitment. A couple of hats for me today. I'm going to be speaking primarily about the School of Business, but and you will be hearing from my colleagues in the School of Engineering and the School of Architecture, Arts and Design. But before I speak about the School of Business, I want to mention that AUD actually has 5 undergraduate schools. And in fact, a 6th one, we just offer a master's or graduate program in education. As well as a School of Business and Engineering and Architecture, Art and Design, we also have a School of Arts and Sciences with 2 degree programs, a Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, as well as a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. This was really our newest school, and International Studies was about 7 years ago that we started the program, and Psychology is our newest program. We just started that about 3 years ago. In fact, we're going to graduate our first batch very soon. The Mohammed bin Rashid School for Communication, those of you that know our location, our campus, this beautiful 1.4 million square foot campus in the heart of Dubai's media city and internet city, it really behooved us to have a school for communication, and MBRSC offers a Bachelor of Arts in Communication and Information Studies, with a couple of options in terms of majors for digital production and storytelling, as well as journalism. Okay, so my main focus point today is to speak about our School of Business Administration. It is the largest school at AUD, with about 36% of our student body in the School of Business. Of course, I can't mention everything about the School of Business in the 3-4 minutes that I have. And I welcome your questions at the end, but I'm going to give you a few snapshots. Firstly, in no particular order, a little bit about our pedagogy. If you're going to basically teach from a textbook, you're going to be out of date. So everything really that we do in the School of Business is contemporary. It's in real time. It's really how can we say, we engage with industry all the time. In fact, our classrooms, a lot of the classes are co-taught between professors and industry professionals. We have real life projects, executives from businesses around Dubai coming into our classrooms, sharing problems, and having our students work on those issues and helping them with research and of course problem solving and finding solutions to these issues. So our students really gain a lot in terms of industry experience, what goes on in the real world, and really our classrooms really are almost a simulation of the real world because of this sort of interaction. Our School of Business also is AACSB accredited. Those of you that know business schools will know that this is probably the most coveted of all business school accreditations. There's only about 5% of business schools worldwide that hold AACSB accreditation, and the American University in Dubai School of Business is in that 5%. And really, I'd like to also just say that we're not one of these sort of bystanders in the AACSB. Our faculty, our dean are heavily involved with the AACSB. In fact, our dean is often asked to sit on panels to help evaluate other schools, other universities, and so on. And a number of our faculty also present very often and constantly at AACSB conferences. A little bit more about how we are, how we teach. We have a wonderful leader in Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and amongst his vision is, he doesn't just want to graduate students from universities that will go out looking for jobs. He says, why aren't we graduating businesses so that when students leave a university and they graduate, they don't go necessarily going out looking for jobs, but they actually graduate businesses, so they go out and hire people to work for those businesses. The American University in Dubai was chosen to head one of these projects that we're calling the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, where as a student at the American University in Dubai, pursuing a degree at the American University in Dubai, you, in coexistence with completing your degree, will have access to open a business if you want to. I'll definitely answer more questions about that in the Q&A, because I'm very cognizant of the 5 minutes that I have. And finally, that I'd like to hit upon in terms of the stars in the School of Business is our much coveted association with the Manchester Metropolitan University in the UK. This sets students on a 4-year degree program where you can earn 2 degrees. One from the American University in Dubai. You'll spend 3 years at the American University in Dubai, pursuing any one of our 6 majors under the School of Business. And then the last year, the 4th year, is spent at Manchester, in Manchester Metropolitan University. Both these schools, AUD and MMU, are both AACSB accredited. When you finish your 4th year, you will graduate with a Bachelor's of Business Administration in your major at AUD, as well as a BA Honours in Business Administration and the Management Program from MMU. This is a select path. You have to let us know in advance that you want to pursue this path. And of course, we will advise you on the courses that you need to take. So in 4 years, you're getting an American accredited university degree based in Dubai, as well as a British degree that you spend a year in Manchester as well. I look forward to your questions at the end. And I'm sorry it was fast and furious, but I hope I gave you a snapshot of our School of Business, and I will stop sharing my screen so that I can hand over to the next speaker.
Thank you, Raj. Yeah, I have to mention that I think we are ranked, our MBA program is ranked as #1 in the region, in the Gulf region, if I recall correctly. So, right?
MBA #1 for employability, and of course the university is #1 for employability in the Gulf region, and #1 in Dubai. Perfect.
Yeah. So, because due to the time constraint, the next up we have Dr. Bazzi here with us from our School of Engineering. Dr. Bazzi?
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to share my screen. Thank you, Shun.
No problem.
I think you should be seeing my screen by now.
Yes.
Once again, hello to everyone. And I will just give you an introduction about the School of Engineering, and I hope everyone who's attending here will find the information useful, or anyone who will be hearing to the recording of this session. In a small just summary, the School of Engineering at the American University in Dubai focuses on excellence in undergraduate engineering education. We have the classical engineering fields, definitely, 4 engineering fields: electrical and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and civil engineering at the undergraduate level. And we have a Master's of Science in Construction Management at the graduate level. Now, just to look at probably some quick facts about AUD in general and about the School of Engineering in specific, for anyone who's considering to come here to study for a course or a couple of courses, or maybe later shift to an undergraduate degree here in engineering at AUD. We are, as my colleagues said, we are #1 university in Dubai as per the QS ranking 2020. We always rank very high in different categories of QS ranking. We are #4 university in the UAE. We pride ourselves for a relatively low student faculty ratio. For every 16 students at the School of Engineering, we have 1 faculty, which is considered, according to different standards, to be a very good figure. Believing that students in the university should not just focus on theory and books. They have to get active with extracurricular activities, with extramural education opportunities, and we believe that this is possible only if we liaise or connect the students with professional societies in the field. We have student chapters of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, IEEE, the American Society of Civil Engineering, and American Society of Mechanical Engineers. These kinds of engagement with professional societies, they provide students with multiple opportunities for connecting with the industry and collaborating on projects outside the classroom. All of the undergraduate programs in the engineering schools, they are all accredited by the American Board of Engineering and Technology, which facilitates a lot the life of a student who wants to transfer courses or study some courses abroad. We mentioned we have the classical engineering subjects, but this is supplemented by more than 10 areas in emerging technologies. We name few, such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, mechatronics, which students have the opportunity to take in their final year of studies here. Work experience is a must for all of our students. We have a mandatory field experience in the third year of studies. So this is a summary of the different programs in the school. What do we do differently in the School of Engineering? Definitely, we have state-of-the-art labs and technology to support the curriculum and to meet the course learning outcomes and program learning outcomes of different courses in the curriculum, be it in robotics, be it in mechatronics, be it in machine design, and in software engineering, just to name a few of them. What we focus on, part of having a very good faculty to student ratio, it means we can address the specific needs of individual students. In our teaching methods, we use different teaching tools in order to adapt to the various learning styles of students. We embed real-world applications in all of our courses. Technology, smart classrooms, smart projectors in our classrooms, balanced content between theory and practical, and most importantly, nowadays is industry engagement. A student who's taking a course could be doing a project with an industrial partner, and having the project featured in one of the industrial or commercial exhibitions in Dubai or in the region. Supporting attitude, all of our faculty are extremely supportive and compassionate at what they are doing. This is just an example. On the left, there is a big set of equations. We try to connect what we explain to real experiences that the student will face, for example, when, let's say, when they lose the mobile signal in a certain elevator. So this is just an example from a classroom material. Maybe our graduates will say about our programs and the quality of the programs. This is a sample of our alumni. Where are they working? Some of them, they moved all the way to the US working in Google and Facebook. Some of them, they stay here with the major real estate developers. Others from mechanical engineering, they work for the Tesla office in Dubai. So just this probably could be an indication of the quality of our programs and our courses as proven by the graduates and the placement of our graduates. This is a house that was built by AUD students, by a team of AUD students as an effort to compete in the solar decathlon. So any students who's joining here as a study abroad student will have the opportunity to participate in competitions, to participate in projects. These are just a team of other students who won a hackathon by the Road Transportation Authority in Dubai. You can see probably from the picture the diverse mix of students. We have more than 100 nationalities represented on AUD campus, not specifically in the School of Engineering. This is another group of students who won recently a competition with Expo 2020. And finally, I like to use this slide in some of my presentations. All what we have been trying to do is we provide the soil, we provide the environment for students to learn and grow, and we do this very well. And I hope we can see some plants coming to us here at the university, at the American University in Dubai, from the US and from abroad. Thank you so much. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bazzi. I have to let the soil and sea analogies. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Stop sharing my screen. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to see there's so many activities for students, so that students get an idea of what kind of project they might be able to do and really to showcase our programs. So last but not least, we have a Dr. Shanaf here with us to talk about architecture program and beyond. Dr. Shanaf.
Thank you. So from the School of Agriculture to the School of Architecture. No, I'm joking, it's not agriculture. I know it's engineering. I'm trying to find the sharing. Yeah, now I can share my screen. And okay, can you see my screen now? Can you?
Not yet.
Not yet? All right, let me share again.
Here we go.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to tell you that the architecture program, Architecture, Art and Design School at AUD is one of the schools that is really vibrant, and we participate in a lot of competitions. We have a very active AIA student chapter. They have organized the first international conference, for AIS. We are very much connected with the profession, because our students are working with professionals all the time. We have mentors for the program of interior design. They use mentors from the profession to finalize their final projects. I'll leave you with this video. It will give you an idea about the school and what we do. I hope you like it.
Unfortunately, we cannot hear the sound.
You cannot hear the sound. All right. All right. Let me do it again. I'm sorry for this. Okay. The mission of the School of Architecture, Art and Design at the American University is to make sure that our graduates are life ready.
Design. It's a vast, vast profession. Design isn't a checklist of do's and don'ts. Design is essentially about communication and problem solving.
VC really is a school within the school, as we have 4 majors: advertising, digital media, graphic design, and studio art. And students also need to undertake a foundation year, and this is to prepare them for the majors and expose them to the vast spectrum of choices VC has to offer. VC students are competent and confident and are prepared for the world and all its challenges. They are artists, designers, advertisers, and creatives, and they create their own future.
Diversity. It's one of the aspects that I think set out our department and our school apart. It's one of the things that gets students and graduates ready to tackle the globe by introducing them in a world of nationality and culture. Technology is one of the pillars, building information modeling, parametric design, virtual reality, and digital fabrication are all advanced tools students are introduced to and they soon learn to master.
Our program sets itself apart by granting students a world-class, world-renowned degree. Our concentrations allow students to focus either on hospitality design or integrated computational design. They are both born out of an accurate and profound understanding of what employers are looking for. Faculty have the freedom to explore topics, just as our students have the freedom to explore countless opportunities.
CRIT is an explore, imagine, create, learn environment. It's essentially a lab where the three main strengths, academia, private sector, and governmental entities, come together to research, innovate, design, and collaborate in order to generate creative ideas.
Beauty of being yourself, but still part of a huge mosaic where we come as different shapes, forms, but yet as one beautiful entity. I hope you liked this this video. I wanted also to share with you this, if I have a minute, you know, I can share with you this board, where this slide where you can see different activities, you can see the crazy things the CRID, the Center for Research, is doing, like this floating building, you know, it's they're using this magnetic field to do that. We have some world-class celebrities that come here and work with our students, you know, in studio art. In this picture, you have you know, our VC students are doing some pottery here. They have their own kiln, and they here. This young man is Hindash. He's one of the a very famous influencer, and he does Kim Kardashian's makeup. Would you believe? And you have our students like competing, and they most of the time win competitions. We like to think that we are different, but we come together, as I said in the video, like a beautiful mosaic. And this is the beauty of Dubai in general, and AUD in particular. We like to teach our students that we are not alone in the market, and there are other players, and then we have to know our partners and play with them to be able to succeed. I'm not going to show you the different videos about each major. I would have loved to, but what we do, for instance, in architecture, we make sure that we know the history so very well, and we also like to introduce our students to different urban contexts, different technologies, you know, how you can make things work, you know. We don't like to dream only. I always tell my students, dream, but always think of gravity. You see this beautiful building designed by Jean Nouvel, which is the Louvre at Abu Dhabi. In Abu Dhabi, it's a fantastic building. And you know very well that Dubai is the place for architecture, you know, architecture and urban design. We have so many landmarks. It is also a crazy city in terms of digital, and it's a smart city, and we want our students to be ready for that. So when it's a very competitive market, so they want, we like to think that we are a very much digitally oriented in our school. We have MOUs with Autodesk. We have a lot of space in the cloud, you know, to cooperate with other universities. We have access to all the pro software for free. We have also recently initiated a VR program at AUD. Not program, it's a course. We use VR in different courses, but this is going to be a very special course that will integrate augmented reality and so on. And this young man is fantastic, but I can't talk about him. But I would like you to look at this video, because this is a very cool course our students are thinking in collaboration with chefs, very renowned chefs.
Architable is a very unique and innovative teaching experience in architecture.
Our students use 3D printing to create molds and collaborate with chefs to create beautiful pieces of chocolate and pastry. And they participate in internationally in competitions. So this is a very popular course at AD. So just in case you, I'll stop here because I think I exhausted my time. But if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Dr. Shanad. So this is always, I have to say, being on campus before COVID, going to the student exhibition, see how they showcase, I'm constantly amazed by students' creativity. And then like Dr. Shanad mentioned before, Dubai is such one city famous for its skyline and architecture wonderland here. So we hope to provide opportunity to the students that get to take advantage of their course here at AUD. So if you have any question, please feel free.
Thank you all so much. That was wonderful. I'm very excited to come visit. You know, that we put this together in the COVID era. We have only met this way by Zoom, and especially, I mean, we're excited to get there to meet you in person anyway. But especially every time we meet with you and we see these lovely things that are going on in your campus. It's always exciting to be back on a campus, and we can't wait to have the opportunity to visit yours. So far, we only had a couple of questions very early on that have all been answered so far in the presentations. Any others? Okay, here's one. What opportunities do study abroad students have to interact with local or international students?
Raj, would you like to take this one?
Certainly, of course.
You look ready.
You know, that's a fantastic question. Thank you so much. The ethos of an American education, of course, is the development of the student in the classroom, but almost as important to us is the engagement and everything they do outside the classroom. So pursuant to that, you know, AUD has a plethora of activities, clubs, sports teams, and so on. So the way, firstly, let's start with inside the classroom. And I'm really sorry if I'm going to take a bit long to answer this, and if you can tell me to be quiet if you want me to be. So in the classroom, you know, every student, whether they're pursuing engineering or architecture or business, there's a portion of a liberal arts section that they must do. So in these English classes, humanities classes, languages, social sciences, etc., they're going to meet students that are pursuing different majors. Then we have students from 110 different nationalities on campus. And it's not just nationalities that make up diversity, I know, but you'll have students that come to us straight from high school at 18 years old. You'll have students that perhaps had to do a couple of years of English to get their English level high enough to be able to start a degree program. So they're going to be 20, 21 in the same classroom as you. Then you're going to have students that are maybe 28, 29 that had to have 10 years of work experience because the time wasn't right for them to pursue a degree when they were 18. And now they're 28 from a completely different country and they're in the classroom with you. And then you have somebody that maybe is a young mum, 35, 36, kids are at school and now she's able to pursue a degree program. So you've got the diversity, you've got the nationalities, you've got the demographics, and you engage with these different nationalities in your classroom of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There might be 20 students in your classroom and I can guarantee you there'll be 10 different nationalities at least. Then add to that, a big, huge component for us is your experience outside the classroom. So as I mentioned, activities, we have a department, a student affairs department, which houses the Director of Student Activities. We have 26 clubs at AUD. from the Indian Cultural Club to the Kaliji Club to the Egyptian Club, drama clubs, salsa clubs, dance clubs, you know, you name it, we have it. If we haven't got the club, you can start that club. Here you get to meet people from so many different backgrounds and so on. I'm the advisor to the Indian Cultural Club, and not everybody in the club is Indian, for example. So, you know, so much opportunity there to meet people, you know, like yourselves, not like yourselves, and we're all here on campus. So, for example, one of the things we do at International Night is that we'll have a competition. Everyone brings a dish from their own country. They'll set up a stall that showcases, you know, the things that their country is famous for. There'll be a dance competition where, you know, you'll do various things from your own country and so on. It's just a spectacle, and it's amazing, and it's a great way to meet other people. And you know, I'm not just saying this, I work for AUD, but you know, you get some campuses that you're just lost on campus. Here, whether you're in architecture or in engineering or in business or in the Mohammed bin Rashid School for Communication, you're like a family, one big family that everyone knows each other. So if you don't make friends from other nationalities and other people, it's not their fault, it's yours.
Yeah. I do like international line. What can be better bring people together than food? And yeah, so I think the video from previously kind of give you a good idea about the makeup of faculty, staff, and including students as well. Even our representative here today, we all have different background, we all come from different nationalities, speak different other languages.
Thank you so much. And I think just to throw in something from Amideast's side here, this is one of the reasons why this collaboration was so exciting and interesting to us, is that we are always trying to make the case to people that, you know, all of our programs are in the Middle East and North Africa. And if we look at Open Doors data, you know, as limited as Open Doors data is, it's a very sort of flat view, and there are things to criticize there. But it does tell us that the data do tell us that, you know, our region is pretty much sees the fewest number of US study abroad students. And so we're always fighting against that. The region, you know, has something for everyone. Knowledge needs to flow in a south-north direction. That's critical. It's really important. And we have a hard time, I think, with our US audiences making the case for how diverse the entirety of the Middle East and North Africa is, not only country by country and region by region, but, you know, as a whole. And one thing we just love about the potential of this partnership is how, you know, the enormity of the international experience packed into this very small place, you know, in the region in which we specialize. And we're so excited for this opportunity. We have lots more questions coming in now. Okay, are there any restrictions on which courses students who come for study abroad can take at the American University in Dubai?
Most of the courses are taught in English, but all the classes are taught in English other than the language classes. So as long as they meet the prerequisite requirements, we don't have particular specific list of courses offered for study abroad students. So if they meet the program requirement and the prerequisite requirement and are eligible to take the class, and we have seats available, then yeah, they can take it.
Okay, and a couple of questions submitted as a pair here. How many credits are courses worth? And I'm sure that this varies from course to course, particularly when we're dealing with lab courses with serious lab requirements. How many credits are courses worth in the American college system? And can students take a mix of engineering and art courses?
We totally follow American system. So regular class, just like in America, it's 3 credit hours, but we do have some different classes. Maybe our deans can talk about it later for specific lab. That will be a little bit different. So typically speaking, we understand students may need to take their major, minor classes or even elective. So they do have the opportunity to take a mix of courses. But any other things you like?
Yes, correct, Yushin. So you're correct. Most of the courses are 3 credits hour. But in the School of Engineering, we have courses which are combined with lab work, which will require a little bit more contact hours and more effort from the students. These kind of courses are 4 credit hours. Thank you.
For architecture, studio courses are 6 credits and 12 contact hours. But the other courses, yeah, are 6. Yeah, this is the, our school is NAB accredited, CEDA accredited, and NASA accredited. So we're the only school outside the US that has all the accreditations, all the professional accreditations. You have to go
in the
by
School of
standard.
Business, we make it very simple. Every course is 3 credits.
Okay. Are there, let's see. Okay, hold on. Ooh, okay. Are there any courses that stand out as particularly difficult to get into?
I would probably say that would fall under Dr. Shanai's area, because the arts and the architecture, they will have professional, you know, I'm not sure they need to submit portfolio or what's the prerequisite requirements. So art classes may be a little bit. Dr. Shanai, do you?
Yeah,
would you like
yeah. I think that some classes, of course, need prerequisites, of course. Whether you're taking a CAD course, we call them DDFT, Digital Design and Fabrication Technology courses. If you want to take a BIM course, which is Revit and so on, you need to have some basics in CAD. Okay, so we would ask you to have like AutoCAD, and everybody knows AutoCAD. You know, things like that. But for studios, of course, every studio is a prerequisite to the next one, because we build on skills and knowledge. That's really how it works. And that's the case everywhere, actually.
Okay, I'm trying to cluster. I have questions coming in that are to everyone, and also that are coming in privately. And so I'm just trying to answer them in sort of groups based on previous questions. And then I'm going to backtrack to a few earlier questions. Who should we contact in order to do some curriculum matching? That's a great question. I mean, you can reach out to us directly, because we are working very closely with Yujun, who is working very closely with all of our colleagues who are with us today. So to keep things simple, I mean, just feel free to reach out to us, because we're working on that. It helps keep the flow of information, as contained and possible, and as direct as possible. I'm going to back up here for a second. Okay. What are the housing options like? Is housing for exchange or study abroad students guaranteed? Are there options for exchange and study abroad students to be housed with local students?
Roger, I think you're ready. Go for it.
Okay, I feel like, okay, so we're really blessed to have housing on campus. We have 4 housing blocks in total, 2 male, 2 female. Total of 500 beds on campus, 250 male, 250 female. The housing blocks, as I said, they're on campus, so you walk to classes in less than 3 minutes. They each have communal facilities. So each of the blocks has a gymnasium, a communal kitchen. So if you want to go to the grocery store, bring some ingredients and then come back and cook. There's a laundry room and quiet rooms if you want to study in a library kind of an environment. And then also rooms where you can work in teams and collaborate. This is all in the housing block. There's 24-hour security there as well. Maximum of 2 students in a room. So obviously at the moment we're practicing social distancing. So even you know, those students that are paying for a shared room, they're getting a single room at the moment. You can request to share with you know, someone in particular that you know. However, if you want to be shared with somebody, you know, of a particular nationality, that I can't guarantee you. You would have to speak to the housing director, but you can certainly make a request of who, you know, who your preference is in terms of sharing with. I hope I answered all the questions. I can't remember everything in the sequence, but.
I can take care of the rest. I think one it was asked if it's guaranteed. For students who apply early, we might be able to, but for last minute student, I don't think we might. It would depend on what our capacity, what availability. Now, although you might be able to request who to stay with, we do encourage. We don't have a specific session that is session now or reserved for study abroad students. So you will have the opportunity to mix with our regular students, so that won't be an issue. And we do encourage you that to, you know, get to know other people and not to have a designated person in mind, but coming with an open mind.
Okay. There's a question here very specifically about students who would arrive, you know, being in their second year of university. Would students in their second year find enough prerequisite type courses? So specifically in the College of Engineering and courses like dynamics and strength of materials.
Yes. So regarding the prerequisites, our curriculum is very similar to any curriculum in an engineering school in the US. So if a certain student is coming, for example, as a second year student to take dynamics, for example, or science of materials, of mechanics of materials, he would need to have taken the necessary math courses, which any university in the US would offer the calculus courses that are needed. So I don't think a student who needs to take dynamics in his second year will have any problem in terms of prerequisites if he has already finished his math courses in the US.
Okay, thank you. There's a question here also about students who want to take Arabic. What is the placement like? We're going to talk. We obviously encourage this is a great opportunity for your students coming from the US, you know, whether they plan to ever take Arabic again or not. We would obviously encourage them to take advantage of that opportunity while they're in their term of study at AUD. It is not required. Arabic is going to be one of the major subjects of the next webinar, but there is a placement process, and to touch on it briefly, I mean, there's an exam, you know, a written exam and some kind of OPI style exam. Yuchen, are you able to address that in any more detail? It's pretty standard.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So I'm gonna say the best part for next week. So stay tuned next time. In May, not next week. Yes, next session.
For instance, I mean, I can tell you normally, for those of you who normally work with Amideast, you know that we have a pretty extensive most of our Arabic placement happens in the pre-departure phase. So we have moved our pre-departure written exam entirely online. And, you know, we score that. We have a pretty good idea of where students are going to place before they come on site. When they come on site, our faculty administer an OPI style exam, which, you know, taken together with the score from the written exam and a history of your Arabic experience to date, that is all used to place you, and then we can move you around if we have to. And there's something very similar that's going to take place at AUD, but because it's their, you know, they have their Arabic department, these are not Amideast Arabic classes, so they're going to be handling the placement process. That was a very long way of getting around to the key point that will be handled within AUD. How big is the school overall?
We student population wise or the size wise? I think Raj mentioned size wise earlier. So student population, I think we have about a little bit more than 2,000 students, 2,300 around.
Okay. All right. Our students would be required to take Arabic. Yay, great. Most would have zero experience and need the 101 class. Is this readily available? And would they need to take a placement exam? No placement exam is required. They're absolute beginners, and Arabic 101 is absolutely available. Yuchun, is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
So glad to hear everyone's so excited about the Arabic program. Yeah, no, I don't have anything to add right now, but I think, yes, 101 is definitely going to be available, especially if we know in advance how many students we will have. We might even throw out another session.
Yeah. I'm going back to make sure, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I get all of your questions here. Okay, here's one. And we touched on this a little bit last time. But to clarify, this is a good point to clarify. So the question is, are the study abroad students also able to take advantage of the internships and partnerships with local businesses for those experiential learning opportunities that were mentioned? My sense here, we talked a bit last time about the difficulty of the internship issue because of the visa situation, and that any study abroad students are coming on a very temporary student visa as opposed to the regular students who are not study abroad students, who are degree seeking students, maybe also international students, and very many of them are, but they are on a very different type of visa that is long-term, tied to the fact that they are degree seeking students. Would anybody else like to? So I think those internship opportunities, at least for the time being, we're going to need a little time to try to surmount that issue. And I don't know if we're going to get there because the study abroad students are, again, coming as short-term students. Would anybody else like to help explain that? I may not be explaining that as clearly or as concisely as is necessary.
You're absolutely correct, Elena, but still there is a good point that if a project, for example, is part of a course, which I mentioned in the presentation, still the study abroad student can join efforts in this. So no issues at all. And many of these projects are a part of a course. If you're registered for the course, then you can enjoy just the connection with the industry and so on. But a special field experience course that will run for, let's say, 8 or 10 weeks, no, it will not be possible.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and again, that's very much tied to that visa issue, which is very much tied to, the kind of student experience that you're having in the country. Let's see if there are any other questions here. Ooh. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for coming. Kyle, who is one of our attendees, is thanking us all and on his way to another meeting. So thank you very much for attending and for all the questions. I'm trying to make sure that I go back and that I've hit all of the points. I apologize if I have missed your question, if you've submitted a question and I've missed it somewhere along the way. Here are a couple more. Okay, and I apologize for getting to these only now. When in the process do students sign up for courses specifically? So they've applied through Amideast, they've been accepted, everything. They're now in your portals and your systems at AUD. At what point do they actually choose their courses? Yeah, that is the question.
Sure. So when they apply after they're admitted, AUD does have a schedule for course registering. And for example, in upcoming fall semester, students start to register classes in late May and start from graduate, senior, your typical, the more credit hours you have the priority to register for classes is definitely total US system. And one good thing that we really try to accommodate for our study abroad students and any visiting student, traditionally, I think in a lot of US student, visiting students, study abroad student, they are the last group of student who can register, but we make an effort to make sure that our students get to register early, earlier sometimes than some new students we have on campus. So once they're admitted, they just need to go online to check out on schedule, and they would know at which point they can register for classes. It will be under new student category.
Thank you, Yichen. And lots of our, thank you so much, everyone. Sarah, Ramona, everybody seems to be leaving us on their way to another meeting, but they're sending many thanks and wishes for Ramadan. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure to have you here this morning. And if any other questions you might have, always feel free to direct them to edabroad at amideast.org. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all the well wishes. We're always happy to answer these questions, and we're working very, very closely with AUD. We're so excited. We would be doing that anyway, but we're so excited about this program. And every time we have a chance to meet like this, I think we just get more excited about this collaboration because there's so much opportunity here, and we just really enjoy working with all of you. If there are no further questions, we can probably end, and we've gone the entire hour. Honestly, dear colleagues, I can't thank you enough for spending this time with us today. It's really been very special, and we're so excited to hopefully send more students your way. Yeah, and we don't want to take any more of your time. We want you to move on and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for us before we leave?
Yeah, any questions from the deans? Raj, any questions?
Thank you very much. It's been lovely to meet you, and we hope you make it over here soon.
We hope so too. I tell you what, it's been so long. I am dreaming of getting on planes again. I never would have said that at the point where I last stepped off a plane, but I am dreaming of getting on planes again and going to new and lovely places, and look forward to meeting you all in person. Thank you again so much for doing this with us this morning, and please have a wonderful weekend, and best wishes for the holy month.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
For those in Dubai.
Bye.